usually gets a half a point more than the loser of the round if it's close. A knockdown would usually make for a 1-point differential. Mark Kaylor, 23 years old, just turned 23 2 days ago, record of 20. And Drayton came out to try to put a quick ending to it. Buster Drayton, 30 years old, out of Philadelphia, now fighting out of Brockton, Massachusetts. That record, 18-8, 2 draws, 12 by knockout. And his last fight was a first-round knockout here in London of Jimmy Cable, while Kaylor, with 22 knockouts within the 26 victories, his last fight back in March, he won a 10-round decision over Randy Smith. Mark Kaylor won the British middleweight title last September on a 5th-round knockout of Roy Gumps. Kaylor has 2 inches on Drayton, 6.5 pounds heavier, and 4 inches in reach on Buster Drayton.
And 10,000 people on his back because he's got every man in this place rooting for him. Drayton, a little while in this first round, trying to establish something, trying to put a little hurt on Mark Kaylor. So far, he's not been able to land anything good. They're arm punches, long arcing punches that sooner or later, Mark Kaylor will step inside of those brief and sharp punches that he's been using in the opening minute of this round.
Good right hand by Buster Drayton. Drayton has fought most of his career as a junior middleweight, and he has pulled a couple of surprises. Not an impressive record, but the major surprise was stopping Clint Jackson with a 1-punch second-round knockout last May. Jackson, the one-time Olympic champion, heavy favorite going in.
Mark Kaylor landed heavy punches to the body of Buster Drayton.
Under a minute left. First round was scheduled for 10.
Good, crisp body punching by Mark Kaylor. Mark of a good fighter. He's very patient. He's been measuring Buster Drayton. Drayton a little wild here, trying to force the action when there are no openings, although he's gotten his shots in.
Prior to the knockout victory over Clint Jackson, Drayton had totally predicted a KO, a boast that was laughed at as usual pre-fight hype. He said no predictions for this one. And Drayton continues to go high and wide with the attempted hooks. And this is round 2. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco from Wembley, England. Buster Drayton in the black out of Philadelphia. And Mark Kaylor in the light blue, the British middleweight champion from London, England.
Drayton fighting like he has nothing to lose. He's sort of a bandit style. He's throwing anything he can from any angle, giving him all kind of, look at that wide punch. It won't be long before Mark Kaylor, who's fighting a very measured and sensible fight, will be stepping inside those arcing punches. He's already gotten to the body very well in the first round. I gave the first round to Mark Kaylor, but it was a close round.
Give the fraction of the point I mentioned earlier. The scoring here, a little odd.
I flunked fractions. I can't even help my daughter in the 3rd grade.
It's on the 10-point must system, but the winner of a round usually gets a half a point more than the loser. That's a normal round if it's close. And a knockdown round usually makes for a 1-point differential. That's the British system of scoring, which is also used for British title fights. However, European and world title fights here do use the conventional referee and 2 judges. Only the referee involved in the scoring in this bout.
That is exceptional and odd. Kaylor now coming on with some of that pinpoint punching he's known for.
Referee Mike Jacobs a moment ago requested that the punchers be raised, some low blows a moment ago.
Don't begin to remind Buster Drayton that he can't use his head in England. Buster comes in with his head low.
Under a minute left. This is round 2.
That looks good, but Kaylor's mostly hitting Buster Drayton's glove. Not that it doesn't build up points, but it doesn't put any hurt on you.
And again, the wild attempt by Drayton as Kaylor remains measured, very conservative. Crowd reacts to every move of Kaylor's, although that last barrage landed on gloves again.
Kaylor will soon realize he's got to go back to the body as he did so effectively in that first round.
And we're final seconds. Round 2. Good right hand by Drayton just before the bell. 3 in Wembley, England, and the crowd urging Mark Kaylor on. Kaylor at 26-1, 22 by knockout. His only loss in a strange bout. Kaylor flattening the veteran Tony Serta after the bell ended the 9th round. Serta unconscious on the canvas, could not continue, so Serta was awarded the decision. Kaylor suffered his only pro defeat by it, the disqualification route.
Must have felt strange. They raised his hand while he was laying on the canvas. Something must be wrong here. Shouldn't I be standing up when they raise my hand?
And that bout took place here in London, and it was Serta of the U.S. Getting the call on that one. The referee was Harry Gibbs, who will be handling the Frank Bruno, James Bone Crusher Smith bout that will be seen on Sports World a little bit later on today.
A little bit of a chess game just went on there. They tried to outguess each other for a full 15, 20 seconds.
Kaylor getting to the body now.
Has to get down to that body. Because Buster will keep his hands up there. He'll hit nothing but gloves. Kaylor fighting a measured fight. Intelligence. Not losing his head. Not going crazy after him. If there's any craziness in the ring right now, it's a little bit of Buster Drayton, who just doesn't care. He's letting it all out. Every once in a while, Drayton dangerous with that right hand.
And you get the idea that Kaylor beginning to solve Drayton with uppercuts and an effective left hand. Left hand by Drayton, followed by the roundhouse that did not connect. There's a right hand, so Buster Drayton hanging right in.
Kaylor letting his left do the talking for him. No question, his left hand has taken over this round. Buster's right in there, backing him up, trying to land that crazy right hand. Buster getting too careless.
Buster Drayton continues to let it all out. And he did put Kaylor, and he hurt Kaylor. He hurt him. And Kaylor put down. Final second goal.
Not a knockdown, not a knockdown.
Called a slip in the final seconds of the 3rd round. Buster Drayton throwing from all angles and throwing wide, able to connect on Mark Kaylor, and it is ruled a slip. We'll be back in just a moment. The crowd here in Wembley, England has been stunned. The British middleweight champion, Mark Kaylor, having some difficulty with Buster Drayton. Came in with an undistinguished record of 18-8 and 2, although did pull off the upset last year over Clint Jackson.
He said he had nothing to lose. He was going to let it all fly out from round 1. He certainly has been doing that, and he's certainly buoyed right now by the feeling that he legitimately had Kaylor down. 10,000 hearts stopped just then. Drayton may punch himself out here in this early round, trying to finish it, trying to get something on Kaylor.
This is round 4 at the end of round 3 in the final seconds. Drayton sent Kaylor to the canvas, who was ruled a slip, and now the crowd again urging Kaylor on.
Kaylor's punches are crackling and crisp, but every once in a while Buster comes out with that crazy right hand. Left hooks from out of nowhere. They seem to stun and bother Mark Kaylor because he stopped his attack.
Good right hand by Kaylor. In fact, his best of the bout.
Buster just wants to get it on. He wants to stop someplace so I can punch you. How often it happens that a fighter trains for a very top fight like Animal Fletcher, Hard Rock Green. You bring in an opponent that he thinks, oh, this is not going to be too tough, and he turns out to be very tough.
Yes, Buster Drayton is a replacement for Carlos Tite, who was a replacement for James Hard Rock Green, who was a replacement for Frank the Animal Fletcher.
That's a lot of different guys to prepare for.
Tite dropped out because of an ulcer. Green a scratch because of a cut suffered in training, and Fletcher also dropped out because of an injury.
Oh, low punch.
Kaylor sensing the opportunity, going right back at Drayton. It was hit low.
Beautiful punching by Mark Kaylor, sensing that there was trouble with Buster Drayton. Really turned on the afterburners.
Coming up on 15 seconds left. Round 4. Scheduled for 10.
Drayton just trying to make a fight out of it. Wants to go toe-to-toe. He feels he can do it with one punch. Kaylor's just punching too crisp and too good.
That'll wrap it for the 4th round. We'll be right back. A look back at the final seconds of round 3 as Buster Drayton put Mark Kaylor down. And Ferdy, this was ruled a slip. Let's take a look.
Oh, he got it. You see, he just about put that one. Oh. That was a Scipion Mustafa Hamsho type of matador push, and then a club on the back of the head. A la Trevor Berbick, John Tate.
So this is round 5. Buster Drayton in the black. 30 years old, out of Philadelphia, now fighting out of Brockton, Massachusetts. Record of 18-8, 2 draws, 12 knockouts. Comes off a good one. First round KO Jimmy Cable here in London. And Mark Kaylor, 23 years old, the British middleweight champion, who has had his difficulties thus far. He's 26-1, 22 by knockout.
Crisp punching by Mark Kaylor. Again, Buster just won't quit. Right up ahead, right in front of him. In looking at that knockdown again, if that had happened in the middle of the round, it's conceivable they would have counted. Because there was a punch as he was going down. Buster lunges. If he doesn't hit you with a glove. Oh, good right hand by Buster Drayton. He doesn't hit you with a hand. He hits you with the shoulder and then his body.
And that good right hand was preceded by a low blow.
Yes.
And referee Mike Jacobs said keep him up.
Mark must be thinking, I tell you, next time bring Animal Fletcher. Skip the substitutes. Bring the real thing.
Halfway point. Round 5. Combination thrown by Kaylor. And Drayton laughs it off. Mark Kaylor has a date coming up against Tony Simpson for the European Middleweight Championship. It has been stipulated by the European Boxing Union they must fight by September.
Well, that should certainly be a colorful fight because they're both tough cookies.
There's Drayton going southpaw now. Just made the turn. He's throwing his entire repertoire at Kaylor.
You got to give him credit for trying. Well, he's doing everything. Turning left-handed. He's a human missile there.
And got caught with the right hand from the southpaw stance. Buster Drayton giving us the impression that he's enjoying himself. Final seconds, round 5. And this is round 6. Marv Albert in the fight doctor, Bernie Pacheco from Wembley Arena in Wembley, England. And we have more boxing coming up on Sports World later on, including the UCLA Invitational Track and Field Meet from Los Angeles. It'll be British heavyweight Frank Bruno, who is 20-0, all 20 by knockout, going up against James Bone Crusher Smith, who is 13-1, 11 by KO. And we're talking two huge heavyweights, 6'4" and 6'3".
We're talking don't go to the kitchen and get a Coke. When these two guys meet, an earthquake is going to happen when they hit each other. Both of them can punch, and both of them are huge. It should be some exciting first round.
Mark Kaylor again getting the left hand in, setting it up with the right.
Oh.
Buster Drayton in the black trunks continues to go high and wide, coming from every conceivable angle. And Kaylor just caught him, and also just went low.
Drayton hurt. Drayton in a lot of trouble. Apparently he doesn't know how to clinch, or doesn't care to.
And continues to lunge and connect, but can't get caught in that manner, particularly if the legs are shot.
He didn't have much in the punch. It's just sort of to tell you, listen, I'm not dead yet. Here, I'm still alive in this fight.
And we have just moved past the halfway point. Round 6, scheduled for 10.
Buster Drayton's a throwback to those colorful fighters. They used to all have nicknames like Hard Times. Come off a freight train and fight anybody and get back on and go someplace else. It's amazing he has not drawn a warning for using his head. Referees not had much to say in this fight. Although Drayton is losing this fight convincingly, he's the one that's the aggressor. He's coming ahead.
And under 30 seconds remaining in the 6th round. Kaylor coming in with all the physical advantages. 2 inches taller, 6.5 pounds heavier, 4 inches in reach. Final seconds, 6th round. And this is round 7. Buster Drayton out of Philadelphia in the black. Mark Kaylor in the blue. The British middleweight champion from London, England, a record of 26-1, 22 by knockout. Drayton's last fight, he weighed in at 150 pounds, but today Mark Kaylor's manager, Mickey Duff, insisted on the higher weight. So Drayton has had to come way up.
We need to go home and eat waffles.
A lot of tea. By
Kaylor holding on. Kaylor held on. There is it. And there goes Buster Drayton with everything he's got. Even Buster is smiling at those two misses.
The unorthodox style of Buster Drayton has bothered Mark Kaylor. He has been hit several times, hit solidly.
Come on, don't go. That's it. Go.
Uppercut and Kaylor put down.
He's just spit out his mouthpiece. Just said, I'm all right. They didn't even count on him. I can't believe that.
And Kaylor is put down. And now the referee Jacob says go to your corner.
I can't believe they don't give him an 8 count.
And they both went down as Drayton went down in the follow-through.
They don't count. They didn't count.
That was a slip.
That's the first slip. The rest were all knocked down. He just picked him up. I can't believe what this referee's doing.
And Kaylor put down again. There is no 3 knockdown rule, and it's all over. A major upset. Buster Drayton has stopped the British middleweight champion, Mark Kaylor, in round 7.
What an amazing finish, and what an amazing reaction by the referee who would not count. Had he counted to 8 each time he dropped, he would have had time to recover. He let him continue immediately as if it were a slip and not a knockdown. What a questionable action by the referee. Highly questionable.
Buster Drayton, who upset Clint Jackson with a 1-punch second-round knockout last May, has come up with another major upset. He has stopped Mark Kaylor, considered an up-and-coming middleweight. He has stopped him in round 7. And Kaylor now being helped up. A cavalcade of knockdowns in the 7th round. Kaylor was put down in the 3rd, although it was ruled a slip. Buster Drayton, 30 years old, from Philadelphia, now fighting out of Brockton, Massachusetts, a late replacement. In fact, a replacement for Carlos Tite, who was a replacement for James Hard Rock Green, who was a replacement for Frank the Animal Fletcher. And a polite hand from the crowd here in Wembley for Mark Kaylor. A look at the final knockdown. This is what concluded matters. The heavy right hand, followed by the left and a right. And that was the story. Buster the Demon Drayton, as he calls himself, stopping Mark Kaylor. And we'll get the official announcement. Let's go to the ring. The winner, Buster Drayton, and Bertie will be talking with the man who pulled off the upset in just a moment. Wembley.
Congratulations on a spectacular and unexpected win.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to dedicate this fight to my church that I attend, Lovely Baptist in South Philadelphia on 6th night, and also the Reverend crew and all the handicapped and disabled children of the world.
All right. We're going to have to run real fast. There was no mandatory 8 count. That's why he kept getting up, and that's why you kept pounding him. Were you worried at any time about his health? You seemed to really have to take after him?
No, because I was getting more pressure from my corner than I was him. That's why I had to pour it on him. I didn't want to destroy him, but I just wanted to win.
All right.
And I thank God
we
that
have
he
to
didn't
run because the
hit
next bout is coming in. Thank you very much for a very interesting fight, and congratulations. Back to Marv Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, we're going to drop the low blow.
Well, let's take a look at the tail of the tape.